Hey guys, this is Joe Heat. Hey guys, this is Joe East here. I wanted to just do a quick film here on the fire at Notre Dame de Paris, Notre Dame of Paris, or in English, Our Lady of Paris. Um, it's a strange event, and when I was watching the film footage, from an engineering perspective, the first thing I saw, I was like, when the spire fell, I was like, that's wood. That is not stone. What's going on here? And the architecture of the period is actually made of stone. I think the flying buttress was invented at about the time of that architecture, and to be true to the period and to be the authentic Gothic, the structure itself can't be made of wood. You could use wood for fill, but you can't use wood for structure. Ancient buildings have to be made of stone. That's why they last forever. Wood will last probably a little over 100 years at best. I mean, there are some cases where people claim that it lasts longer, but I don't think those are true. I think those are a lot of internet BS. Most wooden homes will last about 50 years, but they have to be seriously renovated for them to, stay structurally stable. It's wood. Wood rots. This particular cathedral was over 800 years old, and it's been through many renovations. It appears from some of the stuff we've read. However, for the spire itself to be built of wood would be very inauthentic, and that would actually be close to fraudulent, because that you can't have a holy temple and a cathedral of that level, that ancient, be built of wood. It's just a sin almost to use wood architecture for that type of building on the structure. I mean, we can always fill in the roof or whatever, or fill in the holes with wood, knowing it has to be updated, but the structure itself and the basic architecture has to be stone masonry. So it looks like this is symbolic of the next age. It looks like we're switching ages. In the astrological charts, there's something about Uranus going into a different constellation. In the next 7 years, it seems like this is symbolic of a lot of fakery out there. There's a lot of ancient institutions that we think are stable or actually not. They're facade. They're fake. You scratch below the surface, it catches on fire, when in fact it's supposed to be stone. Our Savior said, "Build your house on the rock," and that's very, very apt for this event here at Our Lady of Paris, Notre Dame Church out there. So in the next, say, 7 years or so, many institutions are going to die. Structures will be broken into pieces. Nations are going to be reorganized. Systems and states will be redrawn. Think of the fall of the Soviet Union back in 1991 or so, where, nobody expected it, and it came out of nowhere, and the Soviet Union was just no more. Broken up into several republics, and the whole world structure changed. So I guess the conclusion from all this stuff, a lot of fakery, a lot of stuff that's just not true, implausible, a lot of so-called authorities that really don't know what they're talking about, a lot of unlearned people out there that are saying stuff and they appear to be authorities or experts, and they are not. The only real authority or real expert is, have you done this? Have you actually built something? Have you actually set something on fire? Have you tried to burn stone? It's like there's those who know what they're doing, who's actually done stuff, and there's those who talk, who don't know what they're talking about, or have no experience in the real world. So I think it comes down to trust in yourself. Everything you think you know, you need to be absolutely certain about it. However, you need to be absolutely certain about what you have done. Something, your personal experience. Did you do that? Then just be absolutely certain about it. Never trust anything outside yourself. There are no more authorities. I mean, this little incident, actually it's quite a big incident, kind of proves that a major landmark of Western civilization is just not real. a wooden spire. I mean, that's probably a crime from an architectural perspective. In some ways, you can think about it. So yeah, just trust in yourself. What is your experience? And this is a teaching moment. Um, if something like this can happen, there's a lot of other things happening. Where there's smoke, there's fire. So it looks like I said, in the next 7 years, there's been many predictions from wise people that a lot of our structures are going to come crashing down, and we just got to be strong. We got to stay strong. We got to trust in ourselves and in nobody else, because much that's out there that claims to be authority, that claims to be knowledgeable, that claims to be expert is BS. It's not true. It's not real. It's made up. It's facade. And how do you define what's real? It's not easy, but what you know as your experience is real, not what someone tells you. So if you hear something reported from anything outside your own five senses, it's a good idea not to believe it. It's just focus on what you have experienced, and that's what you know, and be absolutely certain about that. And there's nothing else you need to know, because if you don't have that personal experience and absolutely certain about something, then it's probably irrelevant to you. Because if you haven't gone through it, then either it's in your future or it's just irrelevant and it doesn't matter. And if it's the noble lies, as the ancient Greeks told us about, a lot of managing the population and managing public opinion, there's something called a noble lie, and some of the powers that be are putting out lies because it's a way of soothing the population. The mother who rocks, the cradle, whispers sweet lies into the baby's ears to calm the kids down, right? And for some people, that's okay. They don't want to. They don't want to wake up, and that's okay. I mean, we don't want to condemn people that just don't have the strength to wake up, but there are some that want to know with absolute certainty what is real, what is true. It's not easy. It's a difficult road. The older you get, there are more lies out there and more noble lies. And like I said, my job on this channel is to set your mind free. And the only thing you know with absolute certainty is your experience, not what's reporting in advertising or so-called news or anything you hear coming over a wire. One methodology of figuring out what's true or not, if you want to, is studying science, and in this case, architecture, and what was available as building materials at certain time periods in history. But for most people, that's a bit much. So I say focus on what you know with your experience, and that's it. And everything else, just don't care about it. It doesn't matter for the average person, or the person who's seeking after truth that's not quite a scientific type, or a type that's builds stuff that much in contact with the physical world. So anyway, this is some quick thoughts on the cathedral there. I think in the next few days it will dawn on many people what's going on here. That's not the way it's supposed to be. That's a landmark of Western civilization. The Cathedral of Paris, where the Archbishop apparently has his setting there, his offices there, the Archbishop of Paris. Great cathedral, great work of architecture, and a large part of it wasn't real. Apparently, according to the film I watched, it looked like it was wood, a spire of wood. And again, that's a symbolic of our era. There's a lot of stuff out there that's just not true. We've all run into fake news, whether you believe in the right wing or the left wing or whatever. We all know now that the there's fake stuff out there, and it's easy to manufacture film, video. It's easy to take voices and make people say stuff with computer algorithms where it appears somebody's saying something. It's easy to make film and fake stuff. It's easy. We can do it. Hollywood's been around for a long time, and now it's cheap to do it, right? It's just cheap to make film and make colors and make pictures and graph where things look real and they're not. We know that, and we know how to do it. So trust your experience. I think that's it. And there's really nothing else to do other than trust your personal experience. Everything else out there is possibly a fake for one reason or another, usually the noble lie. But that's the way it is. And that's the end of my little chat here. Hope you guys take care out there. Be a seeker of the truth, your truth, not anybody else's truth, not my truth, yours, what you know, your experience, and that's it. That's all you need to know. There's nothing we should expect each other to know other than our own experiences. We shouldn't expect people to ever believe news, ever, because if you're not there, and it's putting your hands on the event, your hands on that building, you see the fire or you see the wood or, there's always reason not to believe stuff nowadays with the fakery and the ability to manufacture film footage and news events and pyrotechnics. You can actually stage a lot of events with pyrotechnics. That's just fake. It burned down. Well, I can build pyrotechnics and make something look like it burned down, right? So yeah, it's there's a lot of fakery out there. So we just got to trust our own experience and nothing outside of our own five senses, our own five experiences. And it's probably going to get worse, with the internet's been around in one way or another since roughly the late 90s. And it's only going to get more intense, the fakery and manipulation of our minds and manipulation of our psyche for whatever end, for the powers that be for whatever end they're after. There's going to be a lot of manipulation of perception. And like I said, it's probably going to get worse because of the tools available to those with a lot of money to manipulate perception. So take care out there and trust your soul. Trust your personal experience. Don't despair. And whatever you know, your personal experience, be absolutely certain about that. And that's it. That's all you need. Take care, guys. Stay safe. Bye.